talk all night. But that ain't getting us nowhere. The snow is really piling up outside. I wish you wouldn't make me leave here. I poured it on and I poured it out. I tried to show you just how much I cared. I'm tired of words and I'm too hoarse to shout. But you've been cold to me so long, I'm crying icicles instead of tears. Icicles instead of tears. What do you think of that? That's insane. I know. I mean, how cold is it when you cry? But instead of tears, you got icicles. Oh. Hey, BOOZHOO. Welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. Name and Wyndham. Oh, my noom. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hello. Welcome back to the show. And with us this morning on the Thursday morning live stream, we have Jessica Gonzalez, Mina Divishka. You know who that's for? Hey, thank you so much, Jessica. Jessica just said, Mina Divishka. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mina Divishka. Mino's like the short version of, it's like good birthday or happy birthday, Mino. Today's OJIBWE word of the day, Giga Minawana Gozi Dibishka. That's like the long way. That's happy birthday to you. Giga Minawani Gozi Dibishka. Shady Side is here. Shady Side, I like that. Bonjour, Marie. How you doing? Good morning, my girl. Nah. Yeah, the sisters are in the house. Mino Dibishka, Giga Minawani Gozi Dibishka, Giga Minawana Gozi Dibishka, Giga Minawana Gozi Dibishka. Actually, you know, Minawana Gozi Dibishka, that's really more like Mary. It's like, be happy birthday. You know, it's almost a command. Minawana Gozi. And then that Giga, that's like, Giga Wabamin, Minawa, Giga, to you in the future. You know, you should have a happy birthday. You know what, Michael? Giga Minawana Gozi Dibishka. Happy birthday. Thank you, Natasha. Hikes. How old are you today? I'm 54 years old. You mean 54 years young? No, I mean 54 years old. Yeah, you ever notice that? Whenever they switch it up to, oh, she was 80 years young. It's like, whose feelings are you trying to spare? You think she doesn't know she's old? Jim Dunn says, hey, old man. Hey, Jim, how you doing? Michael says, hello, Jim. I always like it when Jim shows up. You know, there's a lot of feminine energy at this show. You know, a lot of the ladies come out. Shady Side Turtle says, congratulations on completing 54 years. Now starting the 55th year. Yeah. How do you like that? I feel even older. Thanks, Marie. Okay. Yeah, so that's our OJIBWE phrase of the day. What are you going to talk about today, NanaBOOZHOO? I don't know. You know, I looked up that the Psalms 54 for Michael's birthday. I thought we could talk about that. I tried to translate it into OJIBWE, but I didn't know how to translate like some terms, you know. Vindicate me in your name, you know. I mean, how do you say vindicate And in your name in Ojibwe. Yeah, I don't know. Vindicate. What's another word for vindicate? But anyway, so okay, that'll be kind of cool. So NanaBOOZHOO's going to come out. And I guess we're going to talk about Bible stuff, huh? Yeah, I figured why not? I'm going to talk about my spirituality again. Okay. You going to make an appearance later too? Yeah, I'll come out and thank everybody for the birthday wishes and stuff. Okay. Well, so today, before we get started, oh, look at this. Jessica Gonzalez says, avenge, honor. Oh, is that what vindicate means? Avenge. Yeah, it totally does. They could have called Captain America and them the Vindicators. Vindicators assemble. Marie says, vindicate is silence my enemies. Oh, silence my enemies. Do you have any enemies, Michael? I think I'm probably my own worst enemy. Oh, getting deep. How are you your own worst enemy? Oh, just bad habits. I don't have anybody working against my best interest, but, I would say I'm my own worst enemy. Are you also your own best friend? Oh, yeah, I'm a huge fan of myself. Yeah, me too. Are you guys your own worst enemy or your own best friend? Sometimes, especially when I was younger, I used to like to have a little voice that would just yell rude stuff at me. Like, no, you dummy. Oh, you did it again. Oh, nice going, idiot. That was my inner Natasha. Was always just like really mean to me. And then there was that John Cougar song. One of the lyrics was, I'm gonna stop putting myself down. And I was like, I do that a lot. I'm always kind of humorously really hard on myself. But then when things got really bad, that little voice was like, okay, get up. You're going to be okay. You've been here before, remember? This isn't your first rodeo, sister. Like, if you ever feel, sad, gush kingdom, nin gush kingdom. I'm sad. Oh. But, sadness is like, depression or whatever. It's always a cycle. It's always like a roller coaster. You go up and you come down. You go up and you come down. And when I used to be depressed a lot, I'd be like way down in the depression. And then you kind of creep out and you go, oh, wow. I didn't even realize that I was depressed for the last 3 months. No wonder I was so miserable and crying every morning. That works out. But then, it never lasts forever. So sometimes, you gotta be like your own best friend. Like you gotta be like, your brain is sort of like the coach, the life coach, your biggest fan. And your body is like your brain is like the drill sergeant, and your body is just like you. And so when you're depressed, you gotta use your brain or something in you and go, come on, get up. You're going to be okay. This isn't the end of the world. I don't know. Those are my 2 cents worth. So tonight we've got a big gig. We're gonna go live in Tamagami. I should really learn how to say what the name of their reserve is. But the people up in Bear Island, Ontario, we're going to do a show for the kids up there. They're saying there's going to be about 30 to 50 kindergarten to 8th graders. And, the parents and stuff. So we got to be on our game tonight, huh, honey? Yeah, that's true. And We're not gonna make jokes about people getting shot in the head. Well, no, let's do that, number one. Don't talk about politics, number two. Don't talk about anything controversial. Don't make fun of their teachers. There's just certain things we have to remember to do. But, you know what we should do? What's that? Let's tell them the creation story, and we'll dig up those pictures of all the animals. That's a great idea, sweetie. So, excuse me. I just for a second there I had a frog in my throat, and I almost sounded like you. Oh, that's crazy. But, so yeah. Jessica says, I'm so glad you helped with mine too. Oh, good, thanks. We're all in this crazy world together. The older I get, the more the same sometimes I think we are. I mean, I don't know anybody else who's doing what we're doing. There's no little coffee club I can go to here in town where, hey girls, how's your YouTube channel going? But so sometimes I feel like the three of us are just weirdos and not like anybody else. But then sometimes I think we're all kind of going through the same thing, but just with different flavors. Everybody's looking for happiness. Everyone's a little freaked out, a little scared. Everybody's kind of searching for the truth. Everybody's had serious loss, faced death. That's what getting older is like. I should let you talk about this because I'm just a little girl. I mean, what do I know? I just like to be pretty. Nah. Shady Side Turtle. I'm just going to call you Shady Side Turtle. By the way, Shady Side Turtle is a grieving turtle. I think she's turned a corner. She's now on the shady side of town. I mean, shady side can mean two things. It's like, oh, it's the shady side. It's cool there. Or it's like, well, that's the shady side of town. You don't want to go down there by yourself. Those people are kind of shady. Oh, wait, is that a racist term? I bet you that's a racist term. What do you mean? Like in the 60s or something. I bet you they called black people shady. Oh, that's a shady part of town. Don't go down there. I bet you that was a racist term. Oh, don't go there. That's the shady part of the res. All the full bloods are there. Nah. All right. But anyway, Shady Side says, Shady Side is in an area of sunglasses thing. Oh, okay. Shady's, yeah. She's wearing her shades. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can... You haven't worn your shades on the show in quite a while. Yeah, I used to put on the old shades a lot just to look cool. I was hoping more people would open our video if I looked more like a rock star. Yeah, I remember when we first started the show, we were doing a lot of music. You'd wear that studded wristband. You'd be like, come on, feel the noise. Anyway, you want to come up here and say hello to the people? Yeah, I'd love to. Okay, guys, I'm going to go stand over there. Michael, would you be so kind as to pick me up, carry me off the camera, and set me over there? Yeah, sure. Okay. Good to see everybody this morning, and hope you have a fantastic day. I will see you again. Gigababamin. Minowa. Oh. All right, let's go. What? Don't knock over everything. Yeah, I'll try not to. Are we off camera? Yep. All right. Whew. I tell you, that was rough. They can still hear you. Oh, that's right. Never mind. That wasn't rough at all. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It is my birthday. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Shady Turtle says, my sister-in-law works at Pittsburgh University and introduced me to Shady Side. You got it, Natasha. Call me Shady Side Turtle. So, yep, big 54th birthday. I'm feeling really good. I don't know. I remember when I turned 50, it felt like Christmas morning. Okay, yeah. Mino Dibishka. Niji. Thanks, Nanaboozhoo. Boozhoo. Doggone it, I'm a little short still. How does this always happen? Okay, just hold on a second, guys. I could just move the camera down, I guess. Hi. This is what it would look like if Nanaboozhoo died. I think on our last show, I'm just going to kill off Nanaboozhoo and just totally scar the children. And just be like, kids, on today's special show. Oh, I came back to life. You know, you go through all this trouble to try to create an illusion, and in just a moment, you're totally ruining it. Hey, everybody. Boozhoo. I'm back. Many years since I was here. On the street, I was passing my time away. Gigaminawani Dibishka. Gigaminawani Dibishka. You know who could have got a president into a lot of trouble? And probably did, actually, when you think about it. Anybody here old enough or seen the old videos of John F. Kennedy Jr. and that old Marilyn Monroe? She pops out of the cake there and she's all like, Gigaminawani Dibish. Oh, no, she didn't say it in Ojibwe. She was like, that'd be funny if she pops out of a cake and just immediately starts singing in the language. You're like, oh, wow, Marilyn, I didn't know you spoke Ojibwe. But she pops out of that cake and she's all like, happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday, Mr. President. And, it, you know, there's just so much tension in the room. And he's sitting there going, holy cow, would you calm down? My wife is right here. What, you don't read the tabloids? That the whole country thinks there's something going on between the two of us here. Not helping. You're not helping, Marilyn. I need this like I need a hole in the head. Here I go. Let's get it out of my system. I can't be making hole in the head jokes. It's not funny. John F. Kennedy Jr. He needed that kind of trouble like he needed a hole in the head. So in honor of Michael's 54th birthday, whoops, that's not it. I was going to get into that later. Where is it? La 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 la. Here it is. Psalm 54. All right. Okay. And I guess like the lines before this, it was kind of cryptic. You know? I mean, I don't know anything about the Bible, you guys. I'll be honest. But I was looking this up, and it says something like it's got instructions for stringed instruments. And I thought, oh, that's weird, you know, because Michael's a guitar player. But anyway, Psalm 54 is, save me, O God, by your name. Vindicate me by your might. Hear my prayer, O God. Listen to the words of my mouth. And, wouldn't that be a good way to, start before you pray? You're like, hey, God, please, just number one, can you hear my prayer? So, did a little homework. No, I can't read it. Nin bimaji o gitche manado. Nin bimaji, save me, O Great Spirit. Nun dao, ni anima e, hear my prayer. Nun dao, hear. Nin anima e, my prayer. Bisan dao, ikado in nan, anji, what is it? Idun? Oh, indun. Sorry. Listen to the words from my mouth. Bisan down, ikadon, ikadowiwin. Anji, yeah, I forget it. Anyway, but I was thinking about spiritual stuff. As you do, thinking about Michael's birthday made me think about, getting older and dying. Let me get rid of the text. Psalm 54. Save me, O God, by your name. Vindicate me by your might. Hear my prayer, O God. Listen to the words of my mouth. Thanks. I don't know how comfortable I am just bossing around the Creator. But, seems like people do that in the Bible a lot. It's, oh, God, do this for me. You ever get like that where you kind of feel like, well, who am I to even ask for stuff? It's like pretty presumptuous of me to, be telling the Creator of the earth and the Creator of everything, what to do. But that's what I do. I've always been, I had a friend, she says, after we were started talking about, religion and stuff, she was a few years older than me. She was a little bit of my elder. And she stops me and she goes, oh, are you a hopeless seeker? I was like, what? Well, I'm hopeless. I don't know. But it's like a hopeless seeker. It's like, yeah, I think I am. I'm always seeking for, my whole life I was looking for something. And I think it was always just kind of, some relief from my misery. But that'll lead you down rabbit holes and to great thinkers and stuff. And so I was seeking, and I looked into a lot of religions. I was really into that Buddhism for a while, huh, honey? Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, sitting there meditating. Oh, don't think. Legs would fall asleep. And then I spent my fair share of time in the old sweat lodges. Smoking in a pipe. That's about as far as I went. I was never that deep into the Medewiwin. The Medewiwin, in English, it means like a medicine dance. And the old Mede Lodge, the old Medewiwin. It's like the secret, I mean, it's not really that secret if everybody knows about it. But the old traditional, hardcore religious people, the Medewiwin, I like singing and sweating now and then. I'm just not all into fasting, I guess. Shady Size says, every human is designed for 5 holes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. Yeah. I'm not going to get gross and talk about your, your butt. Oh, would you behave? Yeah, sorry. Okay. So Brandy Marie's here. Bonjour, Brandy. Mino Gigajabe. She says, good morning. Just wanted to pop in and wish you a very happy birthday. Oh, she's talking to you, Michael. Brandy says happy birthday. She's sending heartfelt hugs and have a wonderful day. Thank you, Brandy Marie. Michael says thank you. Oh, it's like a surprise party. Well, it's not that big of a surprise, but a birthday party for Michael this morning, huh? Little BOOZHOO crew birthday party. So, you know what it was for me? With fun and all my seeking. When I finally returned to kind of a traditional Christian approach to understanding God, I gave him another try, another consideration. When my sweet princess died, when my little cat died, it wasn't enough to just burn some sage. I couldn't just drop some tobacco and go, here, take your journey, young princess. I was praying to whoever would listen, and it felt like it was the old Bible God I was praying to, making deals. Oh, I wasn't like, please spare my cat. I don't want her to die ever. Make my cat live forever. I wanted God to take her quick. I was like, please take my cat quick, to put her out of her misery. Not that I could be bothered to drive her to the veterinarian and have her put to sleep. No. Gonna let her die slowly over a course of days in my house. I don't know why I did that. Because she hated being, I didn't want her last moments to be fighting me to get into the little travel thing. That was a nightmare. But then I had an awakening right around that same time. It was right before we started this show. And the thing is, when I went to like college and that, and even traditional people, and certainly the Buddhists, they never talk about the devil. It's kind of like you sort of, a lot of people, we get to an age, you go, well, yeah, okay, maybe there's a God, but there's definitely no devil. That's silly. What, do you believe in Santa Claus too? You got a little pitchfork. Oh, I'm gonna poke you in the tuchus. You've been bad, And didn't think it was real. I thought, okay, well, so, I had my mind made up. But then right around the time when my heart was broken and I was kind of praying a lot and just asking for help, it was like YouTube suddenly had this explosion of, I don't even want to say the name, but people who are questioning kind of evolution versus creationism. Let's say that. Intelligent design. I think you can talk about intelligent design without getting censored. And I was like, what? Oh, that's so stupid, intelligent design. But then there were these guys saying, no, the Bible talks about a firmament. Came across this, and they were like, in the Bible, this is the model of the earth. In Genesis, they talk about, in the beginning, God separated the waters above from the waters below. And, he separated the land from the water. And he put the stars in the firmament. And he put the sun and the moon in the firmament. And, to mark the seasons and the days and whatnot. And you find this, and you're like, okay. So, isn't it, what was that, shell oil underneath all that? Maybe, is that why they call themselves shell oil? That's what the Bible apparently thinks the earth looks like. Right? And you kind of go, okay. But that must just be a metaphor. I guess they wrote the Bible before they had worked out for sure that we were living on a ball. That's not something that needs to be debated. We know that. And but then you look into it, and then they started to censor it. Like you couldn't find after a couple of years. We watched like hundreds of videos where people are going, yeah, you know why they think the world is a ball? That started in 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He was going to prove the earth was a ball and not flat. And it comes back to our story about Columbus. And you're like, why does Columbus just haunt me? What is the story? What is the mystery? How is he involved in everything? But then, so, and then, you learn, the first globe was made in, you guessed it, 1492. It's like, really? They've only been, I thought they figured this out, back in the way old days, like in the sandal wearing Jesus days or something. It's like, nope. Then you start digging into it more and more, and you find out, boom, this is Wernher von Braun, 1912 to 1977. And he has a Psalms 19:1 on his tombstone that says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork." The firmament. So you might ask yourself, well, who is this upstanding Christian man? This upstanding Bible believer who would put that verse on his tombstone? Well, Wernher von Braun started NASA, right? He was part of the group in Operation Fishbowl who shot up the first rockets. He was part of that whole, because this is where you're, you guys probably already know this, but this is kind of where your history comes in. They go, okay, yeah, they always knew the earth was round. Well, how'd they know it? Because they worked it out with math, the telescope or something. But you couldn't know for sure until you could leave the planet. And you couldn't do that until you invented the rocket. And so they invented the rocket and they shot it up. And as the story goes, what they think happened is they hit a firmament. And they were like, what? How come that didn't just fly off into outer space? And they go, well, because, as the Bible says, there's a big old dome. There's a big old glass dome or something up there. Do I have a picture of it? I do have a picture of the sun. That's the actual sun. Oh, and here's the weird part too. They go, how come no matter how high you go up, the horizon line is just right there at eye level? If we're on a ball, that should go down, right? But you look at this picture and you go, that's the sun? How come it has a hot spot on the clouds there? Doesn't look like it's 93 million miles away. I don't know. The sun. So you go, okay, wait a second. It sounds crazy, I know. But start going, okay, what if it's not a ball? What's the big deal? And then you get all this weird pushback where people get mad at you, where people think you're crazy. Go, how dare you even question this? It's like, what? Wait, weren't you the one who took me to the Matrix? You didn't mind when I was questioning whether or not this was all a simulation. How come if I question whether or not we're on a spinning ball, how come that's so crazy? I thought, weren't we having a conversation about, this is all a dream? But then people, start freaking out. and they mock you and they tease you. And you're not allowed. It's like, didn't you pay attention to anything in school? It's the first thing they teach you. This is where you live on this globe. Because once you start questioning that, then you go, well, what if there's no evolution? What if there wasn't a Big Bang? What if the Bible is right? And there was actually something that made everything on purpose and put us in here. Made us. I don't know. And then I kind of went, I didn't do this, but other people, God revealed to me. Because, yeah, by the way, this isn't just that people are wrong. This is people are lying. There are people that are wrong. We've had generations of people who've been told a story that isn't true. But who started the lie? Well, the Bible says that old Satan's the father of lies. Satan. Lucifer, the bringer of light. Oh, he's going to light it up. And then you go, oh, wow, what if? Because why would anybody want to lie about it? Why would you make up such a story? Well, because if enough people believe this story, enough people will say, well, the Bible's not real. Right there in the first chapter, they got that all wrong. So you can forget about that God is real, and you can forget about Jesus, and you can forget about all of it. Because somebody didn't want us to believe it anymore. And the Bible says, old Saint Tin, not old Saint Nick. Although they're probably related, huh? But old Saint Nick is, trying to hide something from us. The thing that's in front of all of our faces. And that's why I became religious. Because it was like that old song about Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace. I once was lost or whatever. Or like you're blind and now I see. I kind of felt like God went, okay, here, check this out. I want you to reconsider whether or not I exist. And because, I shouldn't spend the whole hour talking about this. But, I used to make fun of the idea of people worshiping Satan. It's like, okay, number one, you got to be a Christian to even believe in Satan. It's like worship, it's like, oh, I serve Darth Vader. Well, you're not even going to do that unless you're playing along with the Star Wars thing. If you don't believe in Star Wars, you're not going to believe in Darth Vader. So then I was like, well, who would worship Satan? That's like worshiping the bad guy. But then you look on that internet, and they scrub the internet of this too. But sure enough, there's a whole religion of, the people who were rooting for the other side in The Exorcist. Whatever. Anyway, I should quit talking about this. I'm going to read some messages. Okay, sweetie? Yeah, why don't you? I don't know. Is this too deep? Probably. All right. So, Marie says, yeah, ho, that's plausible. Yeah. Marie's not afraid to open her mind and think about it. Jim Dunn says, Jessica, prayers, doggy, heart to heart. 7 miles max. Shady Side Turtle. Oh, the sun? Yeah. They say the sun. It's basic stuff. You kind of go, how did they measure the distance from the sun to the earth? Well, you see, we have this telescope. And through the magic of mathematics, we could tell exactly. It was 93 million miles away. Really? How come it looks like it's exact same size as the moon? How come a lunar eclipse looks like, like machine shop precision? It's like 2 quarters lining up. Oh, that's easy. You see, the sun is 400 times bigger and 400 times farther away. You see, it's science. That's what it is, They teach us our whole lives. I'm just telling Natasha here. They teach us the whole lives that the scientists are so big. Don't question science. Honor your elders. That's optional. But scientists, they're always right. It's like, really? So Jessica says, Michael, have you watched the Bill Nye versus Ken Ham debate yet? Yeah, I have. Or Michael, have you watched that debate? I have. What'd you think of it? I've seen it twice. I saw it years ago, and I thought Ken Ham was an idiot. And then I saw it afterwards, like recently, and I thought he was brilliant. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I had that same experience. The first time I saw that, I remember I really liked Bill Nye. Now I can't stand that guy. He's just a creep. But one of the most brilliant things that old Ken Ham said, he said, which came first, time, matter, and space? He goes, and I think Ken Ham even kind of believes in evolution to a degree. But he said they're all interdependent. You can't have one without the other. You can't have time if there is no place, and you can't have a place without matter. So they erupted all at once. But yeah, when I was younger and I saw that, I was hypnotized or programmed to just mock anybody who believed in a biblical creation story. I laughed at the term. It really was. It was like a brainwashing or something. I would laugh at the term intelligent design. There's kind of a famous story about Plato, I think, or Socrates, or one of these guys. And I never really paid attention to the story. But the argument was, if you find a watch in the wilderness, or a clock, a watch or something, would that prove a watchmaker? Because there's no way that the pine cones and the grass and stuff and the wind would blow just right to make a watch. It would have to suggest there was a maker. But I learned in college not any other detail except, actually Plato, that's a famous debate, and he proves that finding a watch does not suggest a watchmaker. You go, really? So I just took that. That's as much as I learned. I didn't hear the debate. I just believed that they settled it until I got old. And then I was like, wait a second. Yeah, obviously. So if there's existence, if there's a creation, there has to be a creator. And there's been a real effort to make sure everyone believes the same way about the creation. That there's no evidence of a intelligent creator. That's what education teaches you. That's what all of our kids, 100%. They say we don't have religious schools, but if they teach, this would sound so stupid. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this. But if they teach evolution, that's just a theory. That's just like a religious belief. Once upon a time, nothing exploded. It's a myth. It's not science. But they teach it to every single kid, and that changes their way of considering reality. Hikes, I'm getting just deep. Why am I so deep, sweetie? Because it's Michael's birthday and he don't care. Yeah, okay. What are we doing on time? We got 15 minutes left. Brandy Marie says, that's beautiful. Did you happen to see the moon this morning? So huge. I don't even need a flashlight. Beautiful. Oh, yeah, the moon. The moon's really an interesting thing, isn't it? You know, that's the same face that faces us. Even in their model, they don't, you know how they say the earth spins at 1,000 miles an hour? Okay. But you just don't feel it. Apparently the moon, it's always the same face towards us. And, you know, it grows and it goes small. And it's the same year after year after year. I mean, we can mark our months by the moon. And they make up all this weird magic science. Oh, yeah, that's what causes the tides to come in. What? Really? How did you measure that? Oh, the gravity, the magic force that moves the ocean, but doesn't bother the clouds or the butterfly or anything else, or helium. I might act like it's all self-evident now. But basically, it just, I feel like my eyes were opened when I considered that I didn't find God, I found Satan. When I went, holy man, there's been many generations deception to get you not to believe in a creator. You know? And that old Bible, it spells it all out there. I got to read it more. Why don't you read your Bible more? Because I'm lazy and stupid? Oh yeah, me too. Amazing grace, excuse me, la-di-da-dee-dum, la-di-da. So, yeah, I'm coming out of the closet, you guys. I remember working at coming out of the closet. That sounds like I'm telling you I'm gay. I'm coming out of the closet. That old Michael Hoa, he's just cute. No, I'm coming out of the closet that I don't believe what I was taught in school, and that I do believe the Bible. So whatever. Once I was a fool, dreaming my life away. I have one more picture. And then yesterday, what'd I do with it? La-dee-dee-da-da. Hey, sweetie. What's that? We got a phone call. We do? Yeah, you want to take it? Yeah, sure. Caller, you're on the line. Yeah, me, Cookie. Oh, for crying out loud. Ladies and gentlemen, once more to the show, Cookie Monster. How you doing, Cookie? Yeah, me too, great. Ah! How you doing? So, what can I help you with this morning? Me want say happy birthday, Michael. You're going to say happy birthday to Michael? Yeah. All right, go ahead. Happy birthday, Michael! Did you get that, Michael? Yeah, thank you, Cookie. Yeah. Okay, Cookie. Well, thanks for calling in. Yeah, okay, see you later. Yeah, okay. Oops. All right. I didn't mean to do this, but this is my poem for Princess. This is for Michael's birthday. Bonjour. This is a poem about the loss of a pet. This poem is called Tribute to a Best Friend. Sunlight streams through window pane onto a spot on the floor. Then I remember, it's where you used to lie, but now you are no more. Our feet walk down a hall of carpet, and muted echoes sound. Then I remember. It's where your paws would joyously abound. A voice is heard along the road and up beyond the hill. Then I remember. It can't be yours. Your golden voice is still. But I'll take that vacant spot of floor, an empty muted hall, and lay them with the absent voice, an unused dish along the wall. I'll wrap these treasured memories in a blanket of my love and keep them for my best friend until we meet above. Rest in peace, princess. And now that you're thoroughly depressed. Yeah, but without her, man, you know, you never would have woke up at all. Yeah, that's true. We'll have to talk about that on another show. The tragedies that wake us up. All right. So Jessica says, read a chapter a day before bed. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Yeah, that's what we should do. Let's just bring the Bible into the bedroom, for crying out loud. Instead of watching Family Guy every night, you know, why don't you read yourself to sleep? So Shady Turtle is smiling, and she's thinking. Jessica says, I'm so glad you played this. I think you missed my earlier comment, but our cat Madison died last night. Oh no! Oh, Jessica, I'm so sorry. Oh man. Yeah, well, as you can probably tell, we know how you feel. It's really tough. And, you know, heaven's real. Cat's there. Princess's meow sounds like Madison's. Yeah. the little kitty meows. You know. That's just how far away from the lion they are. little raspy lions roar. Yeah, so there's no replacing your cats when they start their journey. You know, I tried to replace Princess with old Bagheera. Hey, Bagheera, you can't come in here because the door's closed, huh? But after a while, I got another cat, thinking, well, this will heal the hole in my heart. And he's totally different in every way. In some ways, he's not nearly as great as Princess. You know, I compare the two. But, you know, I love him in a different way. You know, you can't compare. Jessica says, the old ladies speak. The old ladies speak, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, well, you know, hang in there. Grief is the price for love. The greater the love, the greater the grief, the greater the loss. I don't want to make light of it too much. I know. I remember seeking out YouTube videos when Princess died. And I don't know if it helped or not. People get on there and they were like, so you lost, your pet. Always be like beautiful music in the background. Some guy would talk about, the pain of grief. Like, yeah. But grief is a thing that you won't allow you to just ignore it. It's like, well, I got to get to work. I'll go back to grieving after work today. And you'll make it about 10 minutes, and then something will remind you. Everything will remind you. Weird coincidences. Like you might be watching a podcast on Ojibwe language, and sure enough, your little kitten is speaking out to you through the little camera saying, hey, remember me? I've become a spirit. I'm going to go up to heaven and keep the chair warm until you get up here. I'm up here with your first dog. In heaven, we don't hate each other. Cats and dogs get along in heaven. Did you know that, sweetie? That cats and dogs get along in heaven? Yeah. Dogs don't chase the cats in heaven. Unless they want to be chased. Actually, maybe that's all they do. Just chasing each other. But they never catch them. So Shady Side says, watching reruns of Hogan's Heroes helps ease the pain of life, at least for me. Da 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 la 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 da 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 da. That's almost the Hogan's Heroes theme. I haven't seen Hogan's Heroes in probably, 25 years, and I still remember the theme song. Love Hogan's Heroes. I used to watch it every day after high school. I'd get home, make myself a, bowl of cereal or something, turn on the TV. And in LaPorte in the 80s, we only had a couple of channels. So I had to choose between Sesame Street on PBS, and you'd be surprised how often I actually watch Sesame Street. Or I could flip it over to Channel 12, and they had old reruns of I Dream of Jeannie and Hogan's Heroes and the Andy Griffith Show. Me and Grandma, we watched that Andy Griffith Show. She really liked that. Only she called it Barney. Oh, you want some tea, sweetie? Barney's just about on. But yeah, Hogan's Heroes, man, what a great show. Great actors, hilarious, so funny, so political. Do you think they would dare have a show about Nazis now? And make it funny? And make you sympathize with the Nazi SS people? Hogan! I see nothing. Sergeant Schultz. A big old fat Nazi guard, just turned a blind eye. He knew stuff was going on, but he's just a company man. You didn't get the impression that Sergeant Schultz hated the Jews or anything, And then old Colonel Klink with his monocle, and all the actors, they were great. Now TV is so stupid. It's all, oh, look at this brave, it's Batgirl. Oh, really? What's Batgirl about? She's a lesbian. It's about her dating or something. What? That's not what the comic book's about. Yeah, well, she's a black lesbian. Not that there's anything wrong with being a black lesbian. I'm just saying. It's not a TV show I want to watch. Well, you know what? It's that time again. It's time we should be going. Michael, you want to go to Country Kitchen for your birthday breakfast? We could. I still have a little bit of money on the gift card. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn the camera over for the last minute to birthday boy himself. Nah. But I want to say miigwech for watching the show again today. Couldn't start the day without the BOOZHOO crew. And miigwech BOOZHOO, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to me rattle off about all this forbidden YouTube content. I hope they don't flag it. But I could be wrong. It's just a theory. You know? What happened to that expression? It's just a theory. You used to be able to get away with stuff like that. You know? It's the theory of gravity. It's the theory of evolution. It's the theory. You know, that's fine. It's good. Here's a theory. Here's another theory. The BIBLE, it might actually be 100% correct and historical documentation of stuff that actually happened. If that's the case, yikes. We're in for some interesting times. Anyway, miigwech ganawabieg. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Menawa. Oh, wow. All right, Michael, if you wouldn't mind, sure. So long. And yeah, hi everyone. Just wanted to stop in and say thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Jim and Brian, for being men here with me. You know, sometimes I'm a little outnumbered with Natasha and so many women in the chat. Is this what this is, a chat? A podcast? A live stream? Anyway, thank you so much. This birthday is special to me because of this show. I really enjoy doing it every morning, and I'm very grateful that I have an audience to do it. So, miigwech ganawabieg. Thank you for watching. BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Michael Lyons. This is NANABOOZHOO and Natasha. And I will see you again. Gigawabamin, Minawa. Hawa.